What's going on YouTube? In today's video, we're going to be checking out the U-Bolt Pro Smart Deadbolt. It said Smart Deadbolt because it says it up here, for one. And number two, that literally is what it is. Most companies say Smart Lock. They're usually deadbolts. They're not just an actual lock that's like a door handle lock type thing. This thing is an actual deadbolt. A lot of different uses for it. If you're a realtor or if you're a landlord, if you have it set up for your family, your kids. I set it up for my cleaning lady when she comes, and you can set up on a schedule. We'll talk about that later. It's fantastic. I make it really easy so that I can get in, my wife can get in, and my daughter can get in to the house without a key. All I need is a combo or a keypad combo, my fingerprint, or I can even use a key if I wanted to, or my phone, my smartphone if you wanted to. Now, another thing too is this has a lot of features in it that provide a lot of flexibility. So let's go ahead and quickly show you what you get in the box. So in the box, for starters, they have this nice installation guide. They also have a template that you can use to drill a hole in your door if you need to. Most doors have the deadbolt lock in there, but if you have an interior door that doesn't have one, they do give you a template, it looks like, to make your own hole. And there are also other tools out there to make that easier. And I'll link that in the description below. So if you are going to make your own hole, I'm going to give you some ideas of some tools to use or purchase if you want to make that a lot easier. This one came with the Wi-Fi hub, so you plug this in near the lock. The lock connects to this via Bluetooth, and then this connects to your Wi-Fi network. They did come with 4 batteries. These are AA's. You have physical keys here, so that's nice that you can have physical keys if you need be. And then you got some screws or mounting screws, and then these long screws. These are long security screws, and I call them security screws because using these long screws will screw into the 2x4. And so that prevents somebody from kicking in the door, or makes it a lot tougher. You have the 2 mounting bolts to mount the device together, and then it looks like a reset pin switch, and then 2 small screws. So it looks like you got a few, I think it mounts this to the other side, and then this gets mounted by the small screws. Now you have the deadbolt with the cup on the other side, and then a pretty thick plate that this will go into. And then they provide you an Allen key as well as a Phillips head screwdriver. Kind of gets you all the tools that you need so you don't have to provide your own. So here's the back side of the deadbolt. It is very thick and very beefy. I'm actually amazed at how heavy this is. They have a rubber pad here so it doesn't vibrate on the door. And then you got the manual deadbolt lock, and then the batteries go below this. I think it actually mounts like this, and then there's where the 2 small screw goes in. And the long screws go through here, but you'll remove this from here. But the 4 AA's go right here. And then you have the actual lock with the thumbprint or fingerprint right in the middle, and then the keypad, and then the lock button here. And so this will mount on the door and connect to this. And then, let's see if I can do it. It's probably easier. I can't do it. But this flips down, and the key's behind this, or the keyhole. So if you wanted to use a keyhole, you can do that too. And then it has a little USB mount, or not USB mount, but USB port here. So if the batteries die on this, and you need to get in, you can hook up USB here real quick to power this up to put in your code. If you're interested in picking one of these up yourself, this thing runs about $200 right now. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can check it out and see what current pricing is. Being it's coming up on the holidays, there might be sales. You never know. But for $200, it's on average on what most smart deadbolts, smart locks usually run. The design of this I really love. It's small, compact, and it is very heavy duty quality. The setup and install is very easy. As you can see in my pictures here, I didn't really do a video because it wasn't working out, but in the pictures here, removing an old lock is pretty easy. They'll take out 2 different bolts usually, but to install this one, you're gonna first install the deadbolt, and then when you get that installed, then you're gonna take the front of the lock where the fingerprint is, and it's got this wire. You're gonna put it up there and put the wire underneath the deadbolt, run it underneath there, and then you're gonna get this plate, this metal plate, and then put the wire through where it can go through, and you're gonna take those long bolts, or they're the Phillips head, but long bolts that go through the door and connect these two plates together and sandwich the door in the middle of it. Once that is tight, then you can install the brains of the device, or the battery area, and probably the control board, I'm going to say, in there, as well as the physical lock. And that will screw in with these small little screws. I call them screws, but they're actually bolts. But once you get that in there, then you're ready to go. Well, you're not quite ready to go. You need to download the app off the App Store. So you're going to go to the App Store and download the UTech app off of either your Google Play Store or your Apple, almost I said Apple Play Store, it's the Apple Store. Once you sign up for an account, it's going to give you some instructions when you add the lock, or go to add the lock. It's going to give you some instructions to make sure that the lock is fully out and engaged. I left my door open when I did that. But once you have it fully out and engaged, it's going to connect to your phone via Bluetooth, or at least find it via the app. And then you're going to be able to start modifying any users or anything like that from there. Now, this one came with a Wi-Fi adapter. So literally the device will connect to your phone via Bluetooth. But then this one came with a Wi-Fi adapter, so that way you just plug this in really close to the lock, because what's going to happen is that Bluetooth signal is going to have to go to this device that you plugged in, and then that's going to allow you to connect that device to the Wi-Fi. The only reason why you would need that Wi-Fi device is if you're going to ever access the lock, make any adjustments or changes, or even unlock or lock your door when you're away from your house. Now, if you're near the lock, you can do all those adjustments without the Wi-Fi. So there are a lot of key features about this lock that I really like. Well, the first one is, first of all, it is smart, which is great. But what happens when smart doesn't work? You have access to get in using keys. So you got the physical keys. And what's really nice about this lock is the physical key hole is not exposed. So they don't even give you an area where you can see the physical key entryway. So it kind of saves on the real estate of the lock. But all you have to do is take the lock, and it kind of unconnects from the top and folds down, and you're able to access the physical part of the lock to unlock with a key if you need to. The next part that I really like is the keypad. I haven't got to the fingerprint yet, don't worry about it. The keypad, I'm not sure I don't know if there's a standard for it like there is like a regular QWERTY keyboard. Either way, it's laid out in a circle, or half of a circle, or 80% of a circle, which is kind of cool. It makes the lock very compact, allows it to be at least. But you can put in a code between 4 to 8 digits, which is great. And then also, if someone's behind you, you can put in as many numbers as you want in there. As long as the 4 to 8 digit code is keyed in order, it will unlock the lock. So that way, if you have someone behind you, you can, if your lock number is 1, 2, 3, 4, you can put 8, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 5, 4, and then it'll automatically unlock. So now the person behind you has no idea what your code is, and if they were following along, they're going to try to keep up with that, and most likely will not be. Also, what you can do is you can use your fingerprint. So you can add users to this lock, allowing you to add, so I can have my own code, my wife can have her own code, I can even give one to my daughter, I can give one to my family members, my side of the family, my wife's side of the family, you name it. One to my cleaning lady. But you're able to put in a different code for each different user. You can also use fingerprints for each of those users, and you can have up to 2 fingerprints. So you can have one for like your index finger or one for your thumb. It's up to you. It's really universal to use. And that's not all. You can also use the app. So what's really great about that is you can set up an app access to somebody that can't modify the app or modify the users. So if you really wanted to give it to a family member or someone that's at your household quite a bit, and you wanted them to have the flexibility of using the app, you can send them an email to what email that you want them to sign up with, and then give them kind of like not admin access, but user access, so they can unlock and lock depending on what you set up for them. I'm gonna go ahead and take a spin on the app and show you kind of around it and show you what you can do with it, as well as kind of get an idea of what it looks like and what you'll be seeing. So we now have the app open here, and it has my names at the very top. It says my name's device. And so you can have more than one device on here. Right now I just have one. You can take a picture of it if you wanted to. Right now it's got a default picture. So you have the lock picture, and it looks like 2 people next to it. So that's the users, a log, and settings. So we're gonna go ahead and go into the lock real quick, and it's gonna decide, do I need to connect via Bluetooth? Am I close enough? Or Wi-Fi? And it tells me that I'm close enough to connect via Bluetooth. Well, actually, that's pretty amazing. That's upstairs. My garage door is upstairs, and I'm actually surprised it connected to Bluetooth. Either way, so as you can see right now, it's unlocked. So I can tap that button and lock it if I wanted to. I'm not going to do it right now because it's making a lot of noise. I'm trying to keep it quiet upstairs because it's nighttime. And then we can go down to the users, and we can see who's set up as a user. So right now we have the admin, which is me, and then we have, I just set up a DIY Reid user, and which is a normal user, and a temporary user, which is my cleaning lady. So we'll go through those here real quick. Underneath my normal user, I have a fingerprint set up, I have a passcode, and then also I have no smart access. Well, technically that user doesn't have smart access. I haven't given DIY Reid smart access or smart app access, but I don't need to because I'm the admin and I can use the app through the admin. Temporary user, which is my cleaning lady. So this is where I love this. First of all, I gave her a password. So she can come in when I'm not at home, or my wife's not at home, when no one's at home, she can come in and clean. Then I set up a schedule. So I can set up a schedule to begin at a certain time and end at a certain time, or time would be date, but then you can set up on days. So you can pick which days of the week. So she comes on Fridays, so I picked Friday. She comes once a month right now. I wish I could set it up to pick once a month, but that's a little bit tough. So we just did Fridays for right now. And I can also say time limits. So I can set it up so she puts in that passcode 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and it removes itself if I wanted to. So right now, on Fridays, my cleaning lady is able to use her passcode to get into our house or unlock the door. Any other days, her passcode would not work. So we just had a little bit of a hiccup. It was taking a long time to get to the next page. So now you can see on the top right, it went from Bluetooth to Wi-Fi signal. So before it had a Bluetooth emblem, now it's got a Wi-Fi emblem. So it's just switched. So I guess the signal's not quite good enough to get all the way down here, which I didn't think it would. I was pretty impressed it did. But now it's connected to Wi-Fi. And so now you see this lock status. And we just did the users. So we're gonna go over the log here. So if you tap the log at the bottom right, the third one from the left, and via Wi-Fi, it is a little bit slower than being Bluetooth, obviously, because it's not quite a direct connection. It doesn't have to involve the cloud. As you can see here, here's the log of everything that's happened. So it tells you at 7:04, DIY Reid unlocked via the fingerprint. And at 7:04, I manually locked it. So I was messing around with it earlier today. And then also at 7:04, DIY Reid unlocked it via password, and it was manually locked. And then you can see all this. So you can actually go through the logs and see who's unlocked it at what time, who's locked it, or if it's been manually locked, who's locked it, whatever. So you can kind of see when your kid's been home or got home, if you don't have cameras, and when a family member has been in the house, or your cleaning lady. You can see what time that they came in there. So it's all logged right here. So here's the settings area. So right now it's telling us the battery level is high. I wish they had a percentage there. I don't think you can tap in it. No, you can't. I wish they had a percentage there. It's for AA, so it's an easy replacement. And it does allow you to plug into it via micro USB, I think, at the bottom. And that way you can power it up real quick if you need to, if the battery dies when you're away from home. Then you have the status, which is right now is normal. You can lock out everybody if you wanted to. So that way, if you have an issue or something, I don't know why you would need that exactly, but they do give you the access to lock everybody out, and no one's fingerprints, anything will work. The only thing that will work is physical key at that time. You can set up lock sounds, so it'll make beep sounds and whatever. You can enable that. Right now it's enabled. You can also disable it. It does have magic shake, so you can, if you shake your phone back and forth, you can set how many times to shake it, and it'll unlock and lock. Well, I don't know if it'll unlock, but unlock. But it will unlock if you want it to by shaking your phone. The direction of lock, that's depending on what way your door swings. So you can set that up if it's a left-hand swing door or a right-hand swing door. You can have the auto lock feature. So this allows you to automatically lock the door after so many seconds. You set it up how many seconds you want. Yeah, this locked me out when I first set this up. It defaults to have auto lock working, and I set it all up, went out in the garage, And all of a sudden it went and locked me out. Like the lock noise, that's pretty good. And it locked me out. Thankfully, I was able to get back in with the key because it wasn't quite set up with the passcode. And then they also have auto unlock. So this will allow you to set up a geolocation with GPS on your phone, as well as connecting to the device via Bluetooth, and it'll automatically unlock if you want it to. Not sure I would recommend it, but that's up to you. And then firmware, you're allowed to work and update any firmware if needed. Right now we're up to date. You can pair this to the bridge. The bridge is the Wi-Fi bridge. So this allows you to pair the device to the Wi-Fi bridge and connect it to your network. And I think it's interesting. I skipped the advanced because I hadn't looked into it quite yet. Advanced takes you to delete and reset your lock. So I guess that's advanced. So that's pretty much it as far as the iPhone app goes. So that is the U-Bolt Pro in a nutshell. Listed all the features that it has. It's got quite a few features, pretty much standard for most locks. Again, I really love the compact size of this device, as well as being able to schedule when codes work and when don't. And I do like that how heavy duty it is, and where the keyhole is not even being shown to anybody else. For $200, this is right in line with pretty much a lot of smart locks, and some even are $300, $400, $500 even. You can put this pretty much on an interior door if you wanted to, your front door, garage door like I did. I just did on my garage door, back door, you name it. I'm curious to see what the feature of limiting the time or scheduling passcode, what would you use that for? Let me know in the comments a creative way that you would use that for, other than a cleaning lady, because I took that from you. That can't reuse that. Let me know what you would use it for. I'd love to see what your ideas are. If this video helped you out in any way, please leave me a like. If you have any questions, comments, or opinions about this video, put them down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you as well. Again, this is $199. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can check it out yourself and current pricing. If this is your first time to my channel, please consider subscribing, and I will see you next time.